on right now. Alright, so quick thing. Don't be afraid to waste Matrix to get your team to rotate. Or like rotate safely, right? This is like, because every kill that happens in this choke is like literally 20 seconds off the board. It's like a giant pain, and in low rank games, this can cause like your entire team to disintegrate if they can't rotate like well. Because what's going to happen is if your Ana dies in this rotate, this that's not going to stop your red team. That's not going to stop your monkey from just walking up here and feeding. So, like it's really important that you get everyone across safely, as organized as you can, right? And don't spare resources. So this is whatever. Right? Be careful of peeking too much, because that encourages you to Matrix, right? It encourages your monkey to use bubble. That kind of sucks all around. Your monkey bubble to rotate is fine, except right, there's a hole here, right? Your people are crossing it, and they're going to about to get pulled. So like, again, don't be afraid of Matrix. Even if you don't eat the pull, you'll eat the follow up, right? Yeah. Like, looking away there is like, I don't want to say unacceptable, but like very problematic. Wait a second. Wait, I think I know this guy. Wait. I think I know him. What the? Alright, interesting. I was not expecting that. I looked at the name. He is problematic because he is not using bubble as he jumps. But you can mitigate this, right? So if Monkey is not going to make a play, but you know that there's like it's a relatively light box here, right? There's like there are balls in your spawn. They've got these guys over here. They've got people in high ground. They're like very spread out. Plus you're up a kill, right? So you know at this point that they don't have a lot of damage. They don't have a lot of CC, especially since this Brig just bashed away from you, right? So it's really important here as D.Va that you recognize that your Monkey is not going to do anything. But if nothing happens, you're stuck in this choke, right? And that's exactly what the Orisa wants, right? This is the kind of fight if you just look at it. Orisa is shooting at you, and you can't really shoot back at her, right? Because your guns just don't really work very well from this range. What you want to do is spend some cooldown, spend some health, spend some right? Just getting yourself up against here, right? And making them deal with you. Just make sure you don't like take too much damage, right? So a very easy thing to do, right? Is just boost at the Orisa, unload missiles, right? Or save missiles if you want to, but like just like boost at her, right? Matrix if needed. Boop enter, like then turn around a bit, and then hide behind this pillar, right? Now, like this, it's kind of hard to fight Orisa, like for an Orisa who is slower than you, right? You like shoot at a D.Va who just keeps out running, like playing hide and go seek, with, like or like I don't know, whatever that game is where you run Duck Duck Goose, or just like running in circles around like the pillar, right? As this Orisa tries to shoot you, right? And that will allow your monkey to walk up, even though he wasted his bubble, right? So obviously, really bad play by the monkey, but you can still like mitigate the situation by just like boosting in, right? And just whatever you do, don't just boost at the Orisa and stand in the Orisa's face, because that means your Orisa shield can't get healing, and you're eating full damage, right? So like boost in to create space, but don't actually take damage, right? Just sort of feign aggression, right? You fly at her, then turn around, and either drop off the side, which is like the ultimate non-aggression play, or just like play keep away with the pillar, right? Monkey jumps into the bubble. That's fine. You engage on, but you see how like whenever you engage, it feels very all in, right? You have the full pocket here because your monkey like just like overshot his jump. But if like monkey needed the healing, this would stress your Ana a lot, right? And this is why you see like like high rank D.Vas, they just almost never need healing. Like low rank D.Vas, like they guzzle healing because they cannot stop taking damage, right? And this is you eating maximum damage right now, right? If Orisa like was competent, she would just be shooting you in the face right now, but she's shooting your Ana for some reason. You took from 2 heroes, 2.5, I guess, kind of shooting you. In 2.5 like in the duration of a bash, you took while getting healed. I lost you. Hang on. You lost like 300 HP, right? While getting healed. And this is like the amount of damage you can take if you're just not using cover, right? So all you need to do, right? Oh, I guess the ball shooting now. It's just like fly in, just duck behind the nearest available cover and hide there for a couple seconds, right? Or until your team starts walking up and taking attention, right? So if the Orisa is like trying to shoot you, just keep hiding from her, right? And as soon as she looks at someone else, then you pop out and start shooting her again until she does the same thing, right? And then you put up Matrix and hide again. It's very, very difficult to deal with that. Yeah. So it got messy. You left your Ana behind as well, right? And you got to fly all over the place to avoid damage, right? And you're demanding a full pocket from the Mercy and the Ana now instead of like your Pharah who actually kind of needs it. And this is purely because you just take a lot of damage on your entry. This ball, like, I'm not like the ball's death isn't strictly on your Pharah because like the Mercy could have just like not healed you or like left earlier. Um, but the fact that your Pharah died and the fact that I just want you to know like to understand that the fact your Pharah died and the fact your Widow's so low is because this Mercy is so focused on you, right? This is good though. Face the Widow around, face the ball around. Classic D.Va responsibilities. Alright, if the ball is just gonna hang out here, literally just go boost into him. Don't let him install when he wants to, right? Like when he has cooldowns and stuff like that, right? Right, now he has cooldowns and he's harder to kill, right? I mean, you kill him quickly, but like literally just boost into him. Bad time.
I need healing.
Objective A captured. New defense point. Objective B.
We are going to second point. Right. One thing you can do if the ball is rolling at you, you can just like short boost into him just to like cancel his momentum, right? And then you can turn around if you feel like he's going to like keep going, right? Like you like boost, keep boosting, right? And then like go and get it slightly in the air, and then you can drop down on him if he tries to keep rolling in, right? Or you just like boost, knock him back, and just stand there. Not even that bad as long as like you're not going to die for standing still without boost, right? Like if you did that here, it'd be a lot more sketch, right? Because it's here where nothing's going on, it's a lot safer. But you see, like, because he was able to roll through you, now he's on this side of the map, and he's creating a lot of mess, right? You have to chase him all the way out of, onto this side of the point, right? Instead of being inside the map, you're, like, on the way outside, just chasing a ball around, which is exactly what we want. He wants to make the game messy. And he just goes back, right? And now you've wasted, like, 15 seconds, right? Of just, like, walking around. Maybe the Reaper gets a kill as well, right? This is just not a fight you really want, especially when your team's not behind you, right? So, if like you know that your team's rotating this way and there's 3 people with you, right? Then when the Reaper shows up, you just matrix him, your team shoots him, and then he has to leave, right? But because it's just you, right? This is not a fight you win long term, so you shouldn't be trying to take it, right? You can outduel Reaper, but you don't really want to have to, right? It's like Monkey, right? On one hand, Monkey with Bubble against a low health Reaper, absolutely, you can take that fight, right? But most of the time, as Monkey, you don't even want to try to fight the Reaper, right? You just dodge him until it's convenient for you to fight him, right? This is not convenient. This is you forcing it. Now you're asking to kill and run great, and you run it like this is like purely just because like you pushed when your team wasn't with you. So just be aware of what your team is doing, right? And push based on that. Like, you think about it, right? You took 300 damage before you tried to run away, and you used all your matrix, right? So you look. Matrix, damage, matrix, damage, matrix. By the time you actually run away, you have that much matrix, right? Or sorry, that much matrix, which is like a quarter or less, right? And you have that much health. You have, okay, well that's stupid. And you have half health with no armor, right? And this is the point where Reaper shreds you. So you have to bail long before this, right? You need to like see him, matrix him, realize that you don't want this fight, and leave in advance, right? This is why like a lot of being better at Overwatch isn't necessarily being mechanically better, but just recognizing situations faster and adapting to it. Also, did you have boosters the whole time? I'm kind of confused. I went way too far back. Would you like to fight him? Just had boosters the whole time. So again, like, even at this stage, if you realize that this was bad, you could just boosters and fly away fast before he could kill you, right? But you don't boosters until like he gets like several more shots on you, and you back before you can actually fly anywhere. Ah, a tree. Also, a really simple way to find out if the Reaper's here, like if you're not sure where he is and you're afraid of running into him, is instead of like flying this way, right, you would fly up, right? You would land on this thing, and then you have a very clear visual of whether he's there, and you can just dodge away from him. Like, it's very hard for him to actually fight you when you're up here, and like he can't chase you at all, right? Because if like he tries to like force the issue by getting closer, he either goes this way or he goes this way. In either case, you just drop on the other side, right? It's very easy for you to like maneuver around him. So just forcing the stroke.
Onwards to victory.
Not sure if this is the bomb, but it might work. Okay. Just remake. Please just remake. Double side. Remake bomb kills are cool, but they're usually not that important. Um, or they're so unreliable that they're not worth it, right? Unless it's like a situation which is unless you're like in a good situation for it, right? But this is a situation where like bombs over here, there's a whole bunch of action over here, and there's like DPS behind you that are actually like trying to kill you. So just remake. Don't just play it safe. And you see, right? The Reaper can't shoot you when you've got teammates, right? It's actually miserable as soon as you matrix anything he does, right? But if it's just you, he loves it. Forget about the Reaper. Yep. Nice job. Your responsibility. Matrix him. Nice. This is where you would boost into him as well, right? As soon as you run out of matrix and he hasn't wraithed yet, you'd boost into him, try and knock him back, and then turn around and fly back, right towards your back line. Kill. Yeah, don't lose track of the Reaper. You gotta kill him. That's on you. Not strictly on you, but like, because like you can't control everything. There's so many responsibilities for D.Va, you can't do all of them at the same time, right? But you want to try to at least, right? And the fact that you lost the Reaper halfway through that fight was like kind of bad. If he kills your Ana, it's because you chose to do something else that's more important, right? But if you just if he kills your Ana because you lost the Reaper, then that's like just like I don't want to say poor situation awareness, but like that's something you want to address, right? Because like the Reaper is the #1 threat here, followed by the Dwarves, and then like to some extent the Ball. Those are like your #1 heroes that you need to keep track of. Not #1, but those are the most important heroes you need to keep track of. You should probably like boost down and try and see if you can find the Mega if it's there. If it's not there, unlucky, but like try, right? Because you don't want to lose Mech. Losing Mech in these situations is basically the same thing as not, because that happens, right?
I'm not a good loser. Help me. No.
Launching main. Careful with spamming too much Matrix here. You need this for the engage. Right. You're holding on the Matrix now, which is good. Alright, you got a kill. So, yeah. I know you want to shoot the ball, but unless you're going to cancel his momentum or something like that, like, or try to boop his slam, you can't just stare him down when the other stuff is happening, right? So in this case, right, I want you to ask yourself if you're watching this back later or something. Do you know where your monkey is? Right? Because your monkey is what determines how this fight's going to go, right? When he goes in is when you should do something, right? It doesn't really matter what you do. You can just literally walk in, right? But you do need to do something, right? But like, do you know where your monkey is? And it's really important right now that at this time nothing is happening. No one's even looking at you, basically. That you just look, right? Where's my monkey? What's the approximate timing he can do something? Where is he? You know, you gotta know, right? If you never look, you're never gonna know, right? Right here, again, you're staring this way. Like nothing is going. You're literally hiding. Take a look, right? What's your monkey doing? When is he gonna do something, right? It's really important to know this. Yeah. So now we're following the ball, right? Staring the ball down, right? Our monkey has killed something, right? Our monkey has killed something. We need to be walking in, right? And then if the ball makes a play in our backline and he's trying to kill someone or the Reaper shows up, then we boost back and try to help our team, right? But we need to be walking forward right now to enable him. That way we can matrix him if he needs help or something like that, and he's not just literally in their team by himself, right? I'm not telling you to boost after him because then you leave the backline isolated, right? But you do need to walk in as fast as you can when the monkey does something. And again, that's why it's so important to know when he's about to do something. Because when he jumps from there, right? Because he presumably jumped from here, right? You need to be like walking in already. This bomb is kind of questionable because there's this going on right here, right? You're the primary guy responsible for controlling him. If he kills someone now, this is on you, right? He's about to, it looks like. Yeah. And this bomb is not as important as making sure no one dies here. This is 2 CP, right? I'm sure you've had situations where your team just can't clean up because someone always dies, right? And as D.Va, you have the power to control whether or not someone dies, right? So, don't let them die, right? Simple as that. Obviously, you can that down, right? But please get back and back. Please get back and back. The Reaper's gonna kill. This Reaper's killed your entire team! Feels bad. He's actually killed your entire team. And you went for the mech kill and died. Yeah. Like, again, right? Control the threats, right? That's your main job as D.Va, not fragging, right? As D.Va, you sort of just frag people by virtue of protecting your team, right? Because people are going to go for your backline, and you just kill them when they go for your backline because you do so much damage, right? But if you just keep hunting for kills with bomb and for remix, right? and you're going for the flashy stuff, and you're ignoring the Reaper in your backline, right? You're just gonna lose all your fights, right? Or if you win, it's gonna be by accident, or it's like a teammate carried you or something. You need to like do your job first and make plays at second, right? Like what oftentimes happens when you when you do your job well, is that the plays just sort of present themselves to you, right? Like if I play D.Va in this game, right? Most of the time I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm just kind of doing my job, and then I just get kills because they're messing up their jobs, right? On the enemy team by like walking into me. Keep it simple first. Oh my god, you're so high now. Do you have a different sense for Sigma? Or is it just the way you aim like so like play different? Like you have a sensor mouse, like your button mouse. It just looks very different. Maybe you're lagging this time? Right. Again, like team is ulting, your Ryan is walking in, right? So walk, right? This is really good, right? Just keep an eye on the backline and throw shots occasionally back there, or like pay attention in case they need help, right? But keep walking forward. Your team. Good. Nice. On the ball. Alright, the ball's above you. Rocket attempt. Don't over focus on the side again, right? Team's already on it. Nice.
Score.
Alright, we're just fully controlling the stick.
Test these hypotheses.
I like this forward back movement, right? Forward for the ball, the shots, and then back up. Get that extra range. I really don't like these kind of rocks where you just chuck them across the map because you don't have like you feel like you should rock something, so you just start rocking and find like and lock onto the first target you see, right? But like find something that is actually in your team that your team can shoot, right? Or that your team just can shoot generally, and then that's when the rock actually does a lot of damage. When like people get 100-0'd by rock, that's when that happens, right? Unless it's a hero you can just kill yourself, right? But this is not a hero you can kill yourself. Like just find someone that your team can shoot and rock them. Like this, like for example, if the Brig was in your team and you rocked her, she would just die, right? Most of the time. Go high ground again. Go high ground again. Nice. Again, like it's cool that you hit that rock, right? But what did this rock actually do, right? It stunned him, it slowed him down, annoyed him a bit, and then he's going to leave, right? Then now, this monkey can make a play knowing you have no rock, right? Or this guy can make a play, right? You can go over the wall knowing that you have no rock. Or I don't know. I don't know what else we can make a play right now. But like, the point is, rock is a very important cooldown. Like, it's like flashbang, right? A McCree with flashbang is way less scary than McCree with flashbang, right? So make sure you actually get a lot of value out of it. There's a problem with rock because like it's a skill shot, people just kind of chuck it out on cooldown to practice hitting it, right? But it's really important that like that even though you hit rocks because you try to hit rocks because you can, like that at least at minimum they're like at least an okay rock, right? And not just a rock you're chucking out because like you want to practice hitting a ball as you at a slam. Or right, just spend like some time just working mechanics, right, and just like only like trying to hit the rocks and trying to do the cool stuff, right, and then you spend like a significant time after that, right, just like cutting out the bad rocks, right. That's like an acceptable way of practicing as well, right. So you spend some time like practicing hitting it first, right, and then you spend some time like practicing like not throwing bad rocks, and you just like have very distinct practice times like that. But you need to like be consciously thinking about that, like for like extended periods, not just like saying like I'll get better at it one day, right. It doesn't really work like that. Again, right? There's a shield literally in your face, right? Why you don't need to rock that? Just wait, right? Just wait. Right now, having rock right then, right? As the junk pushes you and literally rams into your face, right? Go back. So why does the junk feel confident doing this, right? It's because he knows you have no rock, right? But imagine if you had rock right now, you would just hit him in the face with a rock, right? Kill him because you one-shot him with rock. But he can do this because you have no rock, and rock's just coming off cooldown, right? If you're gonna drop, you need to recall your shield earlier.
Activating the barrier.
Wow, you see that? You missed your rock, and the splash damage still killed him, right? And he was afraid of your rock, right? That's how important rock is in these 1v1s. Rock. Like, that rock's not even that difficult to hit, right? You just throw it at the crowd of enemies because it's all on your Rhine, right? And it's going to be guaranteed value, right? Target selection. Not like the bubble, nice. Rocking this guy's fine. It was whatever that you missed it, but it was okay because like he was literally in the middle of your team. So even if he primals there, team's likely to do like 300 damage to him in that time, and then he's pressured to leave. Actually, like going back line. If you get booped there, don't be afraid to just press Q and fly away. But like it's very risky to be in this theme, right? And also, if you do get booped here, you end up here and you don't have Q, right? Go this way, right? As opposed to this way, because this way involves going through the enemy team, right? They can see you the entire time, right? Not right now because they're killing your. But like, if the enemy team was like standing here this whole time, as you cross from right to left, their right to left, your left to right, they can see you, right? And it's difficult to cross, right? But this way, create distance instead. Like you're running directly away from them, and then you can just rotate back to high ground, right? Like it's a lot cleaner to rotate. Block attempt. So you're under pressure. Very lost. We'll see. No, having rock right now. Pretty nice. Might even kill this monkey with it for shooting him.
Hoi. Assemble this location.
Okay, you're spamming. Fine. Keep in mind, you don't want to push too far forward. Get run over. Force your team to a bad fight. Alright, your Hanzo made the plays. Again, don't focus too much on what's happening on the whatever main is. Main is wherever your Rhine is, realistically. So don't focus too much on this, like because by extending out like this, your Rhine is open up to getting flanked, right? It's like he's pushing out like this. So this side, right? This can shoot him. Walks across like this. The thing you need to watch out for, right? Your Lucio's on it, right? But this is actually your job, right? Your job is making sure that this guy either doesn't heal our team, right, or doesn't nade your Rhine, right? Those are like your two most important. The easiest way to do that is just walk over here, look at her, put up a shield, and her fight's done. She can't actually do anything, right? And that's how you actually enable your Rhine, not by standing behind him shooting him, like general direction. Like none of this adds anything, right? And the only reason like your Rhine doesn't get punished here is because your Lucio makes the play that you should have been about to die for it because he's not really built. Probably played it too aggressive, but no. That's how it be. See how it be. Also, having rock there, kind of nice. Okay. So I know you want to shoot the ball because you just rocked him. Like the monkey has literally gone past you already, and this ball can't shoot anything. Right? Monkey literally jumps past you, right? You know he's behind you. This guy right here, you want to shoot him, sure, right? And at that point, when he drops, right, and especially when he goes under, he's no longer your responsibility. Do not drop for him, right? Turn around, right? This guy, who's actually a threat, right? Also shooting. Life is easy. Thanks for the follow. Haas 003. Sorry if that's a word, but I do not recognize words, apparently.
Flux is upon us.
Yeah, so worrying about the ball is good, right? But make sure that when you're rotating, right? We talked about this with Diva as well. When you're walking around doing nothing, take a look what's going on the other side. That's. I mean, it's good that you hit this rock because it's a good like prediction, like good awareness, right? Good mechanics, right? But missed this rock. This would have been really bad. So at that point, you just give him a free mind engage if you have to. Okay, and this is why when you hit flux, you should be focusing right here, right? Get a flux, get the monkey, get the jump, right? So because the monkey was closer to you, you just tunneled on him, right? But this guy, if you just tag him twice and he doesn't get healing, he actually just dies to the flux, right? So much more efficient. But instead you pick this shot instead of this shot. So they're both stationary targets instead. So he barely lives, right? And then he gets healing. Now you're in a really awkward position to pull down instead. All your defensive. Read all the mines. Right. I know there's a lot of stuff happening there. But if they get on top of you, this sig, like that's kind of a bad moment. Okay. I think it's about time. To sum up for your diva, you need to be more disciplined with like. I guess not disciplined, but you need to think about more about like what your main tank is doing, what that means for your team, right? So if your monkey does a move where you can no longer go aggressive, or aggressive it's kind of suicidal, it's up to you to make a move at that point. Try and make an opening for your team, right? So that would be like boosters in, right? Then hiding, right? That's really important. This is actually a core skill for monkey as well. This translates a lot, like very efficiently to or Genji, right? Genji, Tracer, Sombra, Monkey, right? They all rely on this kind of thing, or like they kept like in order to jump at this Orisa, they don't want to jump at the Orisa, like that's kind of bad. But they also need to get into the map, right? So what they do is they'll jump at the Orisa, kind of, right? And then hide from the Orisa, right? And now the Orisa has to make a choice. And most Orisas will look at this and be like, I'm not messing with this, and they back up, right? And now you created space without actually taking much damage. Or spending much, right? You only have to have a bubble to do that for the most part. Another really important thing, for Diva was like matrix management. Like make sure you matrix for the important stuff, like rotations. Rotations are number one thing that Diva is good for. Make rotations super easy, unless there's a trap here. And then the one thing that some Divas will do actually, not intentionally clear the trap, but like just generally is like they'll boost in to go in first, right? Then like turn around matrix, or they'll stand here in matrix, right? And then walk in behind and take damage. Like it's okay if they take some shots if they just matrix the team as a cross, right? Walk in behind. But if the thing about boosting it first is that there's a trap there, you'll trigger it and you'll the mine and no one will die, right? Take a lot of damage, but die, right? Yeah. And then yeah, on second we talked about like you need to know where your monkey is. Previous time he was just right with you, right? So it was very simple. But on second point, like spend some time going in other paths, right? Spend time going in other paths. So you need to know what your monkey is and what he's doing. But also like gonna make bad like plays because you just don't have the information. In this case, you spent forever tunneled on the ball, not doing anything because your monkey was making plays. You had no idea, right? In this case, your monkey was sitting at main chilling, right? And you were trying to make a play on the Reaper. And I say no particular reason, because monkey wasn't doing anything, but you didn't know he was doing anything because you didn't look, right? You just kind of like just started like walking this way, right? You checked a look, right? And then took the fight without knowing the behind you lost, right? So these are really important things for Diva, right? Just information just makes your life so much easier. And then for Sigma, some questionable cooldown management, especially the rock, right? You've got to save the rock for moments when you can actually get value, right? Don't throw a rock just because you can hit the rock. I think that was probably the biggest thing for. But yeah. If you have any questions, concerns, let me know. And yeah, helpful.